Okay, once and for all, good day, students. So this time we will be discussing more about the GE1 understanding the self, and we will start with the self from various perspectives. So the self from various perspectives, it highlights the uh, Western philosophy's journey, starting with the sense of wonder and a commitment to rational inquiry in pursuit of truth, which this lesson is categorized based on the trends of each era, indicating that philosophers follow the prevailing lines of thought during their time. So I have here a picture. Um, okay, wait lang. Okay. Okay, this slide talks about a person looking at their reflection in a mirror, but the reflection is different. So we can see now our exploration begins with the recognition that the self is not a static entity, but a concept viewed differently across time and cultures. So we can see now the person is trying to look at the mirror, and this context in Western philosophy, with its emphasis on reason and inquiry, it provides a rich foundation for understanding the self. Okay? So each era's philosophers were influenced by the prevailing ideas of their time, shaping their perspectives on human nature and identity. And that's why in this lesson, we will see how these trends influence their understanding of the self. So, with our previous discussion, I'm just trying to contextualize everything from the very beginning of our concept. Now, the ancient philosophers, we will start with Socrates. This self-biased perspectives talks about with a sense of wonder and trying to consider the commitment to rational inquiry, okay, in pursuit of truth. So that's why we will be discussing first about Socrates. So Socrates was considered as the father of ancient Western philosophy, na known po siya sa idea na know thyself. He claimed to know nothing and only sought the truth, considering himself an ignorant person wanting to understand the self. The Socratic method, also known as the midwifery method, which involves questioning a person without answering to help them reach authentic answers. This context to ancient philosophers, as Socrates believed in the primacy of the soul and the pursuit of virtue as essential for human excellence. He argued that external factors like wealth and reputation cannot bring out the excellence of man in terms of virtue. So that's why the Socratic method portray a context of place immense importance on the soul and the pursuit of virtue. He believed that the true excellence comes not from external achievements, right? But from internal moral character. So he challenged now the values of society, questioning the importance of wealth and reputation. So in this case, he challenged now the unwavering commitment of these people by considering what is truth that led to his trial and execution. At the age of 70, ni Socrates, he was sentenced to death for questioning the existence of gods and corrupting the youth. He died by drinking poison known as hemlock. So, according kay Socrates, um, the unexamined life is not worth living. Ito yung pinaka-known na statement ni Socrates during his time. Okay? So, this famous quote encapsulates his philosophy: the examined life is not worth living, which this powerful statement emphasizes the necessity of self-reflection and critical inquiry. Socrates believed that a life without introspection is a life without purpose or meaning. And by that, by examining our beliefs, values, and actions, we can gain deeper understanding for ourselves and our place in the world. Okay? So, yun po yung kay Socrates. And now, let's proceed kay Plato. Okay? As you can see in our presentation right now, Plato, known siya sa idea ng theory of form and matter. He was considered as a follower of Socrates from a wealthy family in Athens, one of the largest city-states of Greece, and he is the founder of the academy and the teacher of Aristotle. Now, this time, Plato posted that the physical world is an imperfect imitation of a perfect world of forms, okay? Which exists beyond the material realm and can be accessed through the mind. So that's why pinakita dyan na when we try to understand Plato's context, he divided the soul into three components. Okay, the first one is the rational or called as brain. It is being associated with the wisdom and logic. Again, when we talk about logic, there's always cause and there's always effect. The virtue is wisdom and the vice is pride and sloth. So the second one is the spirited or consideration as a heart, and it is being linked to emotions and courage. So the virtue is courage and the vice is anger and envy. So the last one is the appetitive or the context of stomach and genitalia. So it is connected to our desires. As human being, we have our own desires. The virtue is moderation and the vice is greed. In this context, Plato further explored the nature of the self by dividing the soul into three components. In this case, according to Plato, a balanced and harmonious soul is achieved when reason governs the other two parts. This concept na meron si Plato, pinakita dyan na yung tatlong bagay na components ay ito yung main core why ang idea ni Plato exists during his time. Okay? So, yun yung context kay Plato. And now we will proceed to Aristotle. Aristotle was considered as the father of Western logic. Okay? So, he conceptualizes the soul. Okay? Makikita natin sa presentation. According to him, all that exists, okay? All that exists has a soul. Okay? As a matter of fact, the form of Aristotle is the soul, and the matter is the body. Provided that the being or a thing that exists is alive, it has a soul within. So with this one, the soul is the actuality of the body that has life. So now, let's try to discuss because one of Plato's most brilliant students and towering figure in Western thought, this person, Aristotle, known as the father of Western logic, took a different approach to understanding the soul. He believed that all living things possesses a soul which is the form or essence of the body. So the soul is not separate from the body, but rather its organizing principle, giving it life and purpose. So according to Aristotle, the soul is the actuality of the body that has life. Okay? So, yun yung kay Aristotle, and according to him, sa next slide here, we can see now the vegetative or the plants. It possesses the power of growth, nutrition, and reproduction because may life siya. The animal added with motion and perception, possessing a sensitive faculty, with the rational or human driven by philosophy, and science. Hence, man is a rational animal. Diniscuss natin na ang tao is considered as the highest form of an animal because we can reason, we can talk, we can explain, we reason out of something, and that's the context of human perception, human action. Okay? Eudaimonia in the context is the good life. He emphasized that eudaimonia, flourishing or the good life, is achieved what by what? By realizing one's potential and fulfilling one's purpose. We can see now, Aristotle further categorized soul into three types, no? This context, pinapakita dyan na yung idea na meron si Aristotle, binigyan ng importance ang moral character cultivated through consistent virtuous habits and the individual's role within a community, the self cannot be determined. Okay? Kindly take note of this discussion. The self cannot be determined to be correct in its actions without the community. Okay? So that's why, ang nakalagay dyan, he believed that more character is essential for the good life. Okay? Though pinag-usapan na natin to sa ating room, diniscuss na natin to, I will give another context here because virtue is not innate but cultivated through consistent virtuous habits. So Aristotle also emphasized the importance of community. We can see now in this presentation in shaping the self. He argued that individuals cannot fully develop their potential in isolation but must participate in a community to achieve moral and intellectual excellence. So the self cannot be determined to be correct in its actions without community. Okay? So that's it, no? And now, let's proceed to medieval. Okay, we're done with the ancient philosophers. Now let's proceed with medieval. Okay, if you try to observe this picture, what have you observed? Okay, I'm gonna ask right now while you are listening and watching this video, what have you observed? There are a lot of things that we can explain according to this picture. And let's proceed now with medieval, okay? The medieval philosophers, starting with Saint Augustine, okay? The medieval philosophers, or the medieval period, integrated Christian theology with philosophical inquiry, focusing on the relationship between God and humanity. So the first one here, we need to consider the life of Saint Augustine. Saint Augustine, he was considered as philosopher, theologian, and doctor of the Roman Catholic Church. Okay, so you can see now in our presentation, he was a philosopher, theologian, and doctor of the Roman Catholic Church. Introspection and examination of conscience. Ano ibig sabihin ng conscience? Ito yung konsensya natin as a person. According to his book, entitled as The Confessions, explore his journey of self-discovery and conversion to Christianity. We can see now the concept of St. Augustine. By moving into the medieval period, we see a shift towards integrating Christian theology with philosophical inquiry. Okay? Makikita natin na ang prominent philosopher theologian explore the self through introspection. So, that's the idea why si St. Augustine, meron siyang book na The Confessions and more on self-discovery and conversion to Christianity. Okay? Which trying to understand the relationship between God and humanity.